It's time for discussions. Welcome to Discussions. Today we're going to talk about how you can become more intelligent. And this is in direct opposition to those games that you can play on your phone and things that are easy to do that you think might be making you smarter or lifting your IQ. My opinion on this is that it takes hard work. And if it's not hurting, it's not improving your brain functions. And what I mean by that is I can remember back to studying math in high school and it being so difficult to grasp new concepts of integrals and derivations that it would hurt in my stomach. And I remember that really well. That pain in the stomach was literally me thinking, I can't do this. Like, this is too complex for me to be able to solve. But I can see now that that was when I was doing the highest degree of learning. And that is when I was expanding my brain to the greatest degree. Not just knowledge, but ability to problem solve, ability to think critically, think widely, and the ability to learn even. So I'll take you back to the history of when I learned that the brain is a muscle. And it's not actually a muscle, it's just an organ, but it gets stronger like a muscle does. So that's why a lot of people use that metaphor. When I was very young, I went to a summer academy. It was called the Johns Hopkins Academy or something, summer school in America. And I studied aviation and science and things like that for a number of weeks. And then when the summer was over, I came back to class and everything was just so easy. I think other students were just getting back into it and having trouble with the math equations and that sort of thing. But for me, the answers were just coming to me way easier than any other year I'd started school. And I realized that I just had warmed up my brain and I had just strengthened my brain muscles over the summer. So now they were working, they were firing, and everything was really easy now that I'm back at school. So I think I was around 10 or 11 years old when that happened, or 12. And it taught me that I control how smart I am in essence. I control my ability to think and my ability to learn. And how does that apply to us today? If you do believe that, if you do believe that you can improve your intelligence, how does that apply to us today? I believe in general, a higher IQ relates to higher earnings and things like that, but it's obviously not a given. It's just a generalization. But there's other benefits to having higher intelligence. You can have good conversations with people. You can use it as a source of confidence. I definitely rely on one of my pillars of confidence is knowing that I've spent a lot of time studying, learning, and developing my intelligence. And that can benefit you there, as well as helping you problem solve in your career and that sort of thing, or family or social matters too. And it brings the question up as to how can we improve our intelligence if we agree that those games that you do on your phone don't work. And I'm going to give you a couple levels. There's a couple different levels that we can use to improve our intelligence. The first one is nice and easy. It's just reading nonfiction books. When you read biographies and when you read science books and history books and that sort of thing, you gain general knowledge, but you also learn cause and effect. So a simple example of this is when I was tanning yesterday or a couple days ago, I saw certain clouds moving one direction and other clouds moving another direction that were higher up. And when I was trying to calculate how to get the best sun, I remembered that at different altitudes, there's different winds and clouds will move in different directions. Where did I learn that? From Richard Branson's book where he talks about hot air ballooning. And that's how hot air balloon navigates. It just goes to different heights when it wants to go to different directions. So I never studied meteorology, but what I did learn from just reading books is general knowledge that you can use to solve other issues. And that could help me in other situations where if I was trying to understand why certain flights are longer than others, I might understand prevailing winds better or other things of that nature. I'm not actually sure right now, but there's got to be hundreds or thousands of examples of where I've picked something from a book and it helped me solve something in real life. And that's easy because reading's not super hard. And I believe you get the best brain growth from reading when you actually have to think of new concepts and picture new things. So when I'm reading my novels on science, they'll be explaining concepts that I'll really have to imagine and picture and get my head around. So reading that is thought provoking is, I think, helps expand the brain and gets the neurons and neural pathways in the brain firing. And I think that is more of a, a basic way to get more intelligent. But to really boost your intelligence and get a feeling that you are quite an intelligent person, I believe it has to hurt in the sense that you have to push yourself to study and learn in a way that is uncomfortable. That could be through signing up for something like a MBA or later studies in life, because doing stuff on our own, we might watch a YouTube video, we might watch a documentary, but we're not actually taking pen to paper and solving difficult questions and analyzing different concepts and applying thinking for and against ideas. It's easy to just watch and absorb information, and I don't think that's the best way to expand our brain. But when you sign up to a course or a university degree or something of that nature, you're forced, because you want to pass the course, you're forced to actually sit down and solve questions and use your brain rather than just absorb information. If I was going to do this on my own, I might try to improve my language skills. Let's say I wanted to improve my Spanish. I've got a book that can help me improve my Spanish, and I've got the Duolingo app. But until I go and start to write a full page in Spanish, I'm not sure it's really improving my brain. It's only when I've got pen to paper and I really have to problem solve. How did the verbs work? What was the grammar for this? What is the correct way to express that in this dialect? And that problem solving aspect of it is what I think gets the brain going. And that can give you kind of that brain pain I was kind of referring to earlier. So take this on board any way you want. Feel free to use this as a tool. That feeling of, is this really hard and annoying and a little bit painful? Good, because that means I'm growing my brain. So thank you for joining us, and please give us a subscribe so we can bring you more content.